welcome back everybody. This is Kevin here again, and I'm here today to share the final lesson of this module. Order and shipping management on your Amazon account is fairly basic. There are a few things that you need to take note of, and I'm going to walk you through them today. So you've made your first sale, congrats, you're super excited. What exactly happens next? Well, going from left to right, the first step A is to identify the supplier that you utilized to pick this item. So you guys should actually be utilizing some type of either Google Sheet or Excel file to make sure you're tracking all your inventory. And in one of those columns, likely you're going to have something that shows which vendor you're using. So go ahead, select a vendor, and move on to step B, fulfill the order. So again, fulfilling the order, just make sure the address is done correctly, it's typed in correctly, and B and C actually are kind of go hand in hand, right? So again, in earlier modules, when we asked you guys to take advantage of cashback sites such as Ebates or BeFrugal or Top Cashback, these are things that you should have on Chrome extensions just to turn on and make sure that you're setting these, you're fulfilling an order and you're getting that additional 1%, 1.5% bonus cash back, right? So once this step C is completed, the next step and the final step D is just to make sure and wait for a shipping confirmation from the vendor. So let's take Walmart for example. Walmart typically will inform you whether or not a product has shipped, and when it does, make sure just to click on that shipping tracking and make sure that tracking number has already been scanned. Sometimes when Walmart says that they've shipped an item, it only means that they've created the shipping label and it's not actually scanned yet. It doesn't mean that it won't be scanned, but you want to make sure you're putting in a scan tracking number into Amazon so that we know, or Amazon knows, Amazon can track it. If you don't put in a scan tracking number, you're at the risk of saying that, hey, this isn't a valid tracking number because it hasn't even been, let's say, initiated, right? And so again, just to be very clear, make sure a tracking number has been scanned, or you might potentially get like an invalid tracking rate hit on one of your metrics, right? So a scanned versus just a label created, they're totally different things. If you guys need help on that, reach out to the community for additional clarification, but it's a pretty straightforward process. So the next step, or the next situation you're inevitably going to be dealing with is our returns, right? So returns with any sort of retail business, any sort of e-commerce business, these are inevitable. Don't be too scared about this. This is something that routinely happens, and it's a fairly easy way to solve, especially since we're dealing with vendors such as Walmart, Home Depot, with just really good customer service, right? So the first step A is just request a return label from your supplier, right? It's something it's fairly easy to do. You can either call them on the phone or type into one of their chat box windows and just request a label to be sent to your email. Super straightforward process, right? So once you get that return label, go ahead and attach it to that Amazon return authorization request page, right? Go ahead and attach that PDF to that and send it back to the customer to say, hey, put this label on and we'll send it back to you and we'll provide you with a full refund. Step C, charging for a return label. Now this is something that I see people do. I personally don't advocate it. I personally don't do it just because I don't want to risk upsetting a customer to saying, hey, if you want to return something, how come you're charging me for a return label? But this is something that I just wanted to share with you guys to say, hey, people actually do this. You could make money off of it, but at the same time, you're at risk of potentially upsetting the customer. So it's really up to your discretion if you want to do it. Again, I personally don't do it, but I wanted to just inform you guys that this is an option out there, right? So when you charge them for a sort of like a return shipping label, you could just not refund them the full amount, and you might dock like $2 or $3, $4, $5 depending on however much you want to charge, right? Again, this is something completely optional. If you want to do it, if you want to look into it, definitely query the community, see what people are doing, right? So the final step D, monitoring, again, this is just to make sure that you're actually getting that return item. Walmart receives that return item, Home Depot receives that return item from the customer. So periodically check in and to see if it happens, right? So then you could properly apply the refund to your Amazon customer, right? So at the end of the day, if you don't return refunds timely, Customers are going to be upset, and really the name of the game for Amazon is all about customer service. Just always have that in mind, that you want to make sure that you're applying refunds properly. So this is just a quick tip for you guys. When we built this course, we kept an eye out for people that say, hey, I'm just starting, I'm just beginning, maybe I don't have a ton of money to invest on a month in and month out basis. This is a software you can utilize for when your business truly starts to take off. TrackerBot, which is trackerbot.me, it pretty much just automatically uploads tracking numbers onto your Amazon account. It's super quick. I think it costs like $10 a month, but this is something you should only do when you've actually scaled your business and you want to add in some automation. So again, this is something completely optional in the beginning. As you build your business, this might make more sense to spend a little bit money on this, so you can actually focus on just your highest leverage activities, such as finding good products or building some processes for your VAs to do, right? So again, this is some software to scale. Take a look at it when you're ready. Awesome. So in the final circumstance, the final situation we're going to be describing today is, what do you actually do when an item is out of stock, right? And a customer has purchased it. There are really only three main things that you can do. So the first thing, finding another supplier, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? See if another vendor actually carries this item. If they do carry the item, go ahead and place the order. But you might also be hit with the circumstance where another vendor actually carries it, but it's at a higher price point, so it's no longer profitable for you. So again, at this point, you just need to weigh the pros and cons of saying, do I take a metric hit, or do I actually purchase and fulfill the item and take a minor loss? Again, this is just up to your pure discretion. It's something that you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons with yourself. The second thing that you could potentially do, or that you could do, is actually just get the customer to cancel the order, right? So we'll provide you guys with some scripts to send out to your customers to say, hey, this is, for example, this item was damaged en route to you, or this item just ran out of stock, or we apologize, can you please cancel? If a customer cancels an order on themselves, it's actually not going to hit your metrics. So this is the ideal situation, right? So the last situation, what exactly happens when a customer doesn't cancel the order and you can't reach them? Now, this last thing is a trick that we utilize to really protect our metrics, and it's a huge advantage if done properly. So let me show you in the next slide exactly what we do. So this bonus slide, it's how do you avoid getting that late shipment rate hit and that pre-fulfillment cancellation rate hit? And now if you guys remember, there are three main shipping metrics. There's these two, and the last one is just that valid tracking rate hit. The valid tracking rate metric is the least important out of the trio. So as long as we safeguard against these two and the valid tracking rate metric is a little bit inflated, you're going to be okay. So this strategy is to how to safeguard these two main metrics, right? So the first step you're going to do is just go ahead and confirm the shipment. Now you can utilize sort of like an old tracking number, or just make up a tracking number and just hit confirm shipment and send it through, right? The second step that you do is you immediately refund the customer, right? So once you refund the customer, the next thing you need to do is notify the customer with a script that basically says, hey, we apologize for the confusion. Even though you're receiving an email saying that your order was shipped, it actually wasn't due to some technical glitch. We've actually refunded this product, or refunded your payment immediately, right? And just notify them that of the situation that happened. If you want to win brownie points with a customer, just to make sure to safeguard your account, you can even provide them with suggestions on, hey, you could actually purchase this item from this other vendor on Amazon, or this other merchant on Amazon, right? And just little things like that. Or you can even offer like a discount coupon code next time to say, hey, we apologize. Next time this item is back in stock, we'll give you a 10% discount, right? So it's just the little things that you could say here and there to really safeguard your account. And again, the name of the game with Amazon is all about customer service. So understanding this is a huge advantage to you if you guys are utilizing it to protect your late shipment and your pre-fulfillment cancel rate hits. Right. Well, awesome. Well, this concludes the final lesson of this module. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Thank you.